It is loud in the grass today. Look at this bad boy. Oh, that looks a bit sad. So Josh Price is coming back this Saturday. He'll give me a little video for next week's vlog to finish off some of the stuff. And on Friday, tomorrow, I'll put the drawing in so you can see it. Josh Ovenden from V1, thankfully, is back in the country, and he's going to help us rig up the wheel set to go underneath. And we've just bought a set of wheels off this guy on eBay for 700 quid. It's the whole structure. It's more than I wanted to spend because it makes it more like 2.5 grand, but it is what it is. We've got to get this thing moved because at the end of this month, I'm going back to the woods. Been trying to get my act together, my whole act together basically, trying to involve the whole project. Now the project's growing, that's great, but this probably isn't the place to tell you all about everything that's going on. And so I'm going to try and make a graphic that goes at the beginning and at the end of these vlogs that essentially points you elsewhere to where there's more information. I guess I'm now seeing my work a bit like a tree in 3 main buckets. You got the root system, you got the trunk, and then you got the branches, fruits and foliage. And I guess the roots is about the thinking and the philosophy that sits under the ground, and unless it's a rare tree like the one I showed you that we swang off the other day, you don't ever get to see that system. Then at the top you got the branches and the fruit and the foliage, the jewel in the crown of the ecosystem, if you will. And for me that's about this stuff, what we do here, daily habits, thinking about what we do with our days, what we buy, how we live, the individuals at the heart of it all. I think the trunk is where we think about the structure of society, taxes, and how we organise ourselves basically collectively, and that is what provides support to the stuff that we do in our daily lives or hinders it. This little plot is a hotbed for purple emperor butterflies. Absolutely magnificent. I love seeing 2 butterflies just dancing off together, but they are not purple emperors. These little guys, crickets, they are so loud. I have to say, I don't know how you guys feel about crickets, but they kind of annoy me. The noise. So I'm glad that we don't get it's a bit deep in there. I'm kind of glad that we don't get overrun with them in the UK. Some places like south of France are just loud with crickets, and it kind of takes over the rest of the sound. It's like an annoying person at dinner table just gassing away, which I have been accused at from time to time. It would be really nice to see a purple emperor before I leave this site, because they don't really have them down at the old woods. City folk, we would just come and see a space like this and think, oh, it's empty, ready to be used, because we wouldn't see that it's a conservation space for these purple emperors that need room to breathe. And then the reason why some people don't like me being in the woods, which I do understand, is they say there's very few places for biodiversity to exist in peace these days. And the more we come to try and see these purple emperors, the more they get scared away. Is it really worth it? But then again, when we're divorced from our natural home of biodiversity, it becomes hard for us to embrace that philosophy on a human level, and we so desperately need it for our society to thrive. Massive dragonfly. And so it is a trade-off. Damage the diversity or avoid it to protect it, but then lose connection with it. That is the conundrum. The reason I came here was to clear out a flipping skip of stuff out of the cottage, but this is very distracting. One place I definitely want to take you guys in the next couple of weeks is to my dad's garden. If you remember, ages ago we built a shed together, and he has developed that into a proper little plot now. It's a perfect example for me of a Corco corner in normal life. A magical little, I mean, he may not think of it as a Corco corner, but I certainly do. And I'm going to take you there in a few weeks. It's very, very cool. I was speaking to Chris from Daffy's in Scotland this morning, and they've decided they're going to build their own hut and send me a 60-second clip of the building of it. So I'll put that in when we get it. But we don't need people to do them the same way. We want diversity and difference. But I guess the thing with the brackets is it's trying to make it a lowest common denominator of accessibility, both price and skill wise, and I think we have done that with this hut. Chris happens to have a master joiner at his disposal and some capital to spend on it, so go for it. For you guys watching, I got a message yesterday from Louis, who's 14, saying that him and his mates want to do it, put some brackets together. In fact, that just reminds me, I should connect you, Louis, to Holly. All right, skip time. There she is. Oh, cool, these flowers are quite stunning actually, growing up between the stingy nettles. Check out this flower. Right by the gate. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, good, we're back in. God, these flowers. God. You blink and you miss it. Look at these guys. That is just absolutely stunning. Stunning. What are they, guys? Do you have any idea? Got a lot of rubbish out there that we need to put in the skip, but these things I think I'm gonna have to put in the back of my car, take to the recycling centre, which I really can't bother to do, but I guess you have to, don't you? Something I do need to update you guys on is the Fairphone and the People's Operator. Spent 3 weeks using the Fairphone, and obviously I love it, its principles and what it stands for and what it's about. But the reality was I could not do my job. I guess when you're living on and off grid, when you are on grid, you need it to really be on grid. And the reality is the internet just did not work sufficiently at all. I've gone back to my iPhone. The People's Operator is great, I'm enjoying it, but that's what these experiments are for, guys. Let me know how you're getting on with it, if you did have one or have got one now, but I wouldn't recommend that we all rush out and buy one unless you're happy to take a hit on the internet. I have got to get all of this into the skip. I think sometimes people like to think that I'm trying to be perfect, or that I'm an expert somehow in sustainable living or like eco-friendly living. I'm not, I'm the worst. And even today, I'm gonna throw some stuff in that skip that I should probably be recycling. I'm on my own and I've got a Mini, and I think what I can do is fit those two back bins into my Mini and take them to recycling, and everything else just needs to go. I guess an advantage of the woods lifestyle is there's not really anywhere to store anything, so you're very conscious of taking your stuff away when you leave. Brenda's table is over. Now this is a serious spider. Anyone know what it is? Poisonous? Friendly? Oh, out you go. You are hench. Absolutely hench. I don't know if it's because it's too hot outside and I'm just a bit grumpy or something, but I just saw the biggest, frankly the biggest load of rubbish I've ever seen on Twitter. A content creator called Mr. Jake Rich, who I've actually dealt with before with Solvi. Creating quality content for the internet is harder than any other job. What other job ranks you globally and expects you to create work 24/7? Hats off to those creators killing it. That is just the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard. And Jake, you do know better than that. Obviously, there's challenges with making content, but it is probably one of the easiest jobs in the whole entire universe. Imagine being like a Brazilian builder at 43 degrees Celsius for 9 hours for something like £2 an hour. We're all guilty of it. And I'm keen to see what you've got to say, Jake. And I only single you out, Jake, because one, it stuck out to me, and two, because I know you can do better than that. It's amazing the bubbles that we get ourselves in, and I am front of that queue. I am as guilty as the rest of us. In fact, it's only fair if I tweet him back, to be honest. I think I'm going to take this one with me for the hut. Feels like it fits nicely. It's a great feeling, isn't it, when you are tidying up and you find something that you've lost. Check these out. Hand knitted from the north of Scotland. Hand sewn soles. Flame slippers by Sarah Brown. Kylescu B&B. Check them out. If you want to jump on the Instagram, it's Felting Fun. Hi Dave, thank you for commissioning a pair of my slippers. I hope you find them cozy. Anna said flame colours would be good and I think they work well. I hope your projects are going well and life is being kind to you. What a lovely card, Sarah, thank you. I'm sorry it took me so long, and I look forward to using them when it gets cold again, which probably won't be too long, unfortunately. So I reckon it's 1 trailer load, 1 car load, and just figure out how to get the hut out of here and then we're good. Not so bad. Done. It's one thing I'm definitely going to miss in the woods. I'm not peeing, by the way. Is the eternal water source here. I'm going to keep making these short videos whilst I'm in transition because I don't know about you, but I like the habit. I'll see you same time next week.